Hey guys, come on in. Happy Thursday, pre-Friday, the day before Friday. Hope everybody's having a good day. I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and we're going to make a tote bag or a canvas bag. I'm going to silk screen it, a Chalk Couture stencil. Check out this little guy. Is he not too cute? So what we're going to do with this is I'm going to silk screen this onto the canvas bag, and then I'm going to paint some colors into it. And so tonight is going to be more about the technique and you know, some different way that you can use the Chalk Couture stencils. So remember we did this apron yesterday, and we're going to see how long it stays clean for me. I'm not going to intentionally get it dirty, but I don't have to worry about that because I tend to make messes everywhere I go. So first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and I'm going to iron this. I don't know why I'm in this ironing kick with the projects that I'm doing, but here I am. So let me put a little bit of water on this. Y'all come on in. Hey Kathy, how are you? Thanks for joining me. All right, we're gonna put this on here. Just kind of smooth this out a little bit. I think this is the side that I want to use. And we are going to do a fall. Oh gosh, I didn't take this thing out of here. Well, look at that. The gel thing. All right, let me make sure that this is okay, that the stuff didn't stain it or anything. Looks like we're good. All right, so what I want to do is we're going to put this little guy on here, and then I want to add, like, I want to color his shirt in, and I'm going to use the color papaya. And thanks for sprinkling, I appreciate that. And then we're going to color in Woodstock with the yellow. And I'm thinking we're going to give Snoopy, the papaya is going to be Snoopy's shirt. Then we'll do the pole that he's standing on in brown. And I'm going to go over all of this in black. All right, so I don't think this canvas bag is really thick, but just to be safe, I'm going to put my ink mat. Probably should have gotten this out before I got online because it's loud. All right. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to put some ribbon on this after I get it done or what. Somewhere in my stash, I have some leaves, and I may come back maybe tomorrow night if I can find my leaves, and we can spruce this up some more. But I wanted to get this on here tonight just so that y'all can see this technique. I tried this technique, I guess, a couple of years ago with a butterfly. And so what I like to do, what I kind of figured out on my own was, all right, let's get this out of here for now because we don't need this right now. What I like to do is I like to put if I'm going to paint this, I like to, I know, I don't get it. Kathy, sometimes I wonder if the book isn't trying to put themselves out of business. You go over to YouTube, everything works smoothly. You don't have to double click on everything. It doesn't run to the bottom of the comments. I swear they're trying to put themselves out of business, or maybe they lost funding or something. I don't know what their gig is, but it doesn't make any sense, does it? So, but we're not gonna worry about that. We're gonna look at this little guy, and he's gonna make us smile. So I'm gonna go ahead and, just like I did yesterday, I like to take, and over in the corner, I take my finger and I kind of make it at a 45-degree angle, and I catch the top of this stencil. And then I pull that off, and I'm going to come back to that. I don't have to worry about fuzzing this or anything like that because this is fabric and there'll be enough lint on this that we won't have to worry about it. And I think I'm going to bring, I kind of want to put, all right, hold on a minute now. I got a bag full of, let me put this over here. Actually, it's got a place, so let me just put it in its home, and then I won't be looking for it. Same thing for this. I'll put this over here. All right, so I've got a whole bag of ribbon, and I don't know what colors. Ooh, the plaid might be nice. I wonder if I have like I got a bow that's already made. With that, I don't know. We might work with that. We'll see. Trying to think. Ooh, you know what? That. All right. So let me back this bus up a minute, y'all. All right, copper. I think I have some copper in here somewhere. Maybe I need to order more. I've got gold. I don't see copper. Let's see what this is here. That's gold. Huh, I must need to order some copper. Too bad. All right, and then let's see what this color here is. Does this color kind of go with that? All right, hang on a minute, y'all. I may be changing my mind on something. Do we want to do, okay, I like these two colors here with this. This goes good. And I'm trying to decide if I want, this is called Current Jam. And, oh, wait a minute, here's I think this is the copper. Shimmer Copper. All right, let's see. I haven't used this in a while, so let's see what we got here. Ooh, that's going to be pretty. What do I want to use that for? Oh, my goodness. Because this does, the shimmers don't paint very well. All right, hang on a minute. I thought I had an idea what I wanted to do. All right, so if we put this up here and we use these colors, I think this will go with it. How do I want to get the copper in here? I want to do the black. Oh, too bad. You know what I could do? Well, no, I don't want to do that because I want to paint his hat brown. So I'm going to need the black. All right, I think I may have to stick with my original plan. All right, let's get this on here. I think we might use that ribbon there. We'll see where it goes. So, what are we learning here? Maybe it's a good idea. Hey, Mary Jo, how are you? Good to see you. Maybe it's a good idea that we pick whatever ribbon we want before we start painting, right? So we're going to do Woodstock in yellow. I want to do Snoopy's hat in brown. And I think I want to use papaya for his shirt. So I think I'm going to stick with that, and then we'll see where it goes from there. And then we'll decorate afterwards. And I think this bow is going to be like way, way, way too big. But I could, yeah, it's going to be a little overkill. I could make another bow and maybe put it up at the top or something. So we'll see. I don't think I'm going to use the gold. All right, y'all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my tape. Let me get my painter's tape. Oh, hold on. Let me get my painter's tape. Make sure this is straight. And it looks a little crooked. No, maybe not. All right, here we go. I'm going to take the tape, and on the parts that are close to the edge of the transfer, I'm going to put the tape over here on these sides here, and then that way I won't accidentally run off of the stencil or the transfer and get it on my canvas bag. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same thing up at the top for his hat, even though his hat isn't that close to this. So let me just turn this around and show y'all what I'm doing. All right, you see how close the straw for his hands are to the edge? I don't want to run that off of there. So that's why I put the tape there. And then that way you've got, you know, it just kind of gives you a little assurance that you're not going to run everything off onto the, all right, that's not going to work. That doesn't match. All right, so here we go. All right, let me look at this. Boy, that looks crooked. All right, hang on. Hang on, because it sure looks crooked to me. All right, let me take this off of here. Let's see. I think it just looks crooked. All right, let's try this one more time. All right, let's try this right about here. Bring it down just a smidgen. That looks better. I need to get it right with the top is what I need to do, because if you're carrying stuff, I'll use this like if I go to my Bible study or I need to carry something with me, I'll be able to use this. All right, I think that's better. That looks better. I feel good with that. All right, so I'm going to come back here again, and I'm going to make sure that I don't go off the edge by putting some tape right near. They took this, Chalk Couture took this right up to the edge. They don't usually get it quite that close, but that's okay, because we got it. We got it all under control. All right, there we go. All right, so now the idea here, what we're going to do is, hey, Amanda, we're going to go over this entire thing with black ink, just like I did with my little what's his name, pig pen. And all right, here we go, y'all. I'm going to do this all in one color to start with. So I'm going to take a small squeegee. I've got different size squeegees. Let me show you the different sizes. The mini squeegee is a squeegee that y'all see me use most of the time. This is the small squeegee. My guess, I don't know the actual history, but my guess is that Chalk Couture started with the small and they needed something smaller, so they called this one the mini. And this one is about a little over an inch wide. The small is about 1 3/4 inches, okay? So this is the difference so y'all can see the sizes. Since this is a B size transfer, AB as in boy, that means it's 8.5 by 11 inches, the same size as the sheet of paper. Since it is a B size, I'm going to use the small because I'm going to do everything all in one color to start with. All right, so here we go. So this is my black ink, and I'm going to just run this over here. And I like to go from the edge of the design into the middle of the design. And that kind of keeps me from having things go off the edge. Good thing I have that tape there, because I mean it is really, really close. It's just painter's tape that I got. I think it's 3M painter's tape. You can get whatever painter's tape you like. And I got it from Walmart. All right, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to come up, making sure that I get in all of the nooks and crannies, and I get this completely covered. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start pulling off the extra ink. This is ink, not paste. All right, I'm going to put this, see how much there is? I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it back in my jar because I can reuse it. Make sure that it's nice and smooth. You don't want any lines or anything. All right, and now what we're going to do is I'm going to keep this just in case I need to, look at that, I got it on my hands. I'm notorious for doing that. All right, so with the ink, you want to make sure that you wipe your hands really, really well before you start touching your canvas. All right, so I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to start pulling it back and take this tape off of here. And I'm going to just put it in the paper towel. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Put that there. And then we're going to take, and I'm going to lift this off too. And now we're going to start pulling, oh, I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to start pulling this up a little bit at a time because I want to make sure that I don't have any, oh my gosh. Okay, so Woodstock's mouth, his little nose, needs a little bit more, probably should have kept that tape on, but needs a little bit more ink on his nose. So lift it up, all right, that looks good. And then keep pulling it up slowly. And you'll be able to see if you have any parts where there looks like it could use a little bit more ink. Oh my gosh, y'all, is this not too cute? All right, I'm gonna put that off to the side. I'm gonna put this in my water, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna clean this. Let me get this in here. I found my board eraser. It was in my my little cart that I have. All right. Oh my gosh, y'all. Is this not too cute? All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to dry this. All right. Let me put this off to the side. I'll turn this around so y'all can see it. I'm doing this off the project because I have a tendency to drop stuff right on my project. All right, here we go. So did anybody take me up on the challenge for the messy apron for the month of September? Okay, this is what we got, y'all. Ha ha ha! Check it out. All right, so, oh, thanks, Kathy. So we're going to take this, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to heat set this. So I need to take this out of here. Let's take this out of here. Remember, this is still wet. And I guess I'm going to put it over here for right now. We're going to take that out of there, and now what we're going to do is we are going to dry this. And then after we dry it, we're going to heat set it. Oh, this is so adorable. Who doesn't love Snoopy, right? So we're going to dry this, then we're going to heat set it, and then we're going to paint it. And as soon as this is off, I'll tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing. I can remember as a kid taking tracing paper and tracing Charlie Brown and Snoopy onto a sheet of paper, onto a sheet of tracing paper, and then I would color them in. I go back as far as when I was 9, remembering drawing Charlie Brown and the gang and everybody. I loved Peanuts and the gang. It was a big thing when we were growing up. All right, and I like to lift the, like if I'm working with fabric, I like to lift it up so that the air can go all the way through to the back side. Okay. All right, looks like it's dry. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, throw that in the trash, is I'm going to get a piece of parchment paper and my wool mat. Oops. Put this back over here. I might use this. All right, let me get a piece of parchment paper. And we're going to put this over top of it. And we're going to, for 30 seconds in each section, it's going to be close. It's pretty close. We're going to do, I'm going to just move this around just a little bit. This is 305 degrees for 30 seconds. And if you don't have a heat press, you can use an iron and just put your iron on whatever temperature of the fabric that you're using. So if you're using cotton, this is cotton, then you're going to do 4 minutes, moving your iron around. Okay, and now I'm going to do the back side of this. It feels like it's sticking to it. I don't know why it's doing that. I usually feel that way. Because this, all right, and I'm going to tell you something else. Because this design is a little bit larger than my heat press, that's why I'm doing it in 2 passes. Then we're going to turn this inside out. All right, 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1. Okay. You see the steam coming off of it? All right, so this is smoking, man. Now, after you have heat pressed it, you will feel a difference. Like before you heat set this, the ink will be kind of tacky feeling, just not really sticky, but you'll be able to feel it on your fabric. But after you heat set it, it almost like, it's not like there's no embossing feel to it or anything. You can close your eyes and you wouldn't even know that that was there. Whereas before, when you first put the ink on there, you'll be able to feel like a little tackiness to it. All right, here we go. I'm going to turn this inside out. I like to do this online so that y'all can see this done, because I'm a firm believer that you can learn by seeing. Some people are auditory learners, some are, okay. And so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same thing I did, and I'm not going to use the, there is something on this. You know what? I am going to use a piece of parchment paper because I don't know. I feel something sticking on it, and I'm not sure what it is. All right, so again, we're going to take, and we're going to do 30 seconds. Making sure that we do the inside and the outside. 305 degrees for 30 seconds. And then this will go through the washer and dryer. Oh, you know what? I'll have to show you all the shirt that I have on. This has been 2 or 3 years, maybe 3 years old now. And it hasn't faded or anything. What I see now, what you see today is, okay, we're going to put that over there. And we're going to keep that on because we're going to use it again. All right, let me get this. There's something, I think that piece of parchment paper had something on it. So I'm going to gently fold this and put it in the trash. All right, now let's turn this right side out. And I'm going to tell you why I did what I just did. All right, remember that the heat sets that ink. So what I want to do is I want to come back and I want to paint Snoopy's hat, and I want to paint Snoopy's shirt, and then I want to paint this little pole like he's a scarecrow, the pole that he's hanging on. So let me put this out of the way. I'm going to use it again. And I want to get a piece of cardboard that will fit in here. All right, that'll work. Just to separate these two. Yeah, there's some kind of glue or something that was on this. Not quite sure what happened with that. Must have been on the paper. All right, so the reason why I heat set this is because I'm getting ready to put more ink on top of this, and I wanted to make sure that the black portion of this is set so that it doesn't run. So this is what my thinking is. I haven't, you know, and I've done a couple of different things this way, and it has worked out. I did a butterfly that had a lot of colors in it, and I was concerned about everything running together. And so I heat set it so that the different inks don't run into each other. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a brush, and I'm going to put a little bit, we're going to do woodstock first. Let me get a brush here. Let's see what kind of brush I want to use. That one's kind of big. This one might be a good one here. All right, and I'm going to take a little bit, it's not going to take much, of this yellow ink. I mean, I'm really not going to need much at all, y'all. I could probably just put it right there in the lid. And I'm going to take a little bit of water. I'm going to use distilled water. And I'm going to dip my brush in the water and get it wet. And I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to just kind of make it so that this is a little bit thinner than full strength. Now, I have actually used Dixie Belle for fabric also, but this is the Chalk Couture ink, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. I'm going to come in here. Let me put this over here just in case I need more of it. And I'm going to color Woodstock. And I'm going to try not to, all right, let me get a little bit more water on this. I'm going to try not to go over the black. And then after I get the colors on here that I want, I'll heat set it a second time. Okay, this is soaking into the fabric. It's kind of like paint by number, I guess, but you know, you get to choose the colors. And because I heat set this, it'll keep these colors from running together. All right, so there's Woodstock's little tail and his neck. And you want to make sure that it's got a little bit of, it's not really runny, but you want it to be kind of runny. And then I want to make sure that I don't go over the black. Now, I have done other pieces like this where I just put the black back over it again, but I don't want to take any chances of this not lining up. So, and you can see I'm only using a teeny tiny bit of the ink. All right, and we want to come in here, get that, get his little body in here. make sure that he's good and covered. All right, so there's Woodstock. I might give him just a little bit more, because we want him to be nice and vibrant. Okay, all right, so there's Woodstock. Let's get this little part here where his tail is. And I put a piece of cardboard in between so that I really should clean that stencil. Let me do that, y'all, and then I'll come back to this because I need to get that out of the water. We don't want to leave that in the water too long. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to put Woodstock off to the side. And I'm going to show y'all how to clean this stencil. Okay. It's got all this black ink on it. You really don't want to leave this in your water too long. So this is a good time to just pull this out, take my board eraser, and just wipe away all of the ink. If you use paste, you'll be wiping away the paste. All right. Rinse your board eraser out, get a fresh start, and now you want to turn this over. And what you're looking to do is to clean the silkscreen area. You want to make sure that you get all of that paste or that ink, whichever one you're using, out of the silkscreen area. So I'm going to hold this up. I'm looking to see if I've left anything behind, and I haven't. Now, it will stain. The ink will stain the transfer, but as long as you have all the ink out of the silkscreen area, that's what's important. All right, so we're going to put this on this fuzzing cloth. And we're going to dry that. And now all I need to do is grab my, what did I do with it? All right, what did I do with it, y'all? There it is. We're going to take our back sheet, and we're going to, I like to line up one of the corners. I take and line up the corner here and the corner there, and then I'll make sure that this side lines up, and that will help me. And it's actually easier if you turn it upside down. It's a little bit easier if you do it upside down. So I'm going to take and just kind of line those up, and then press it down, turn it over. It's got a whole bunch of wrinkles in it. You just lift it up and let it fall back down, and now it's ready to be used again. Okay, so I'm going to put this off to the side. I'm going to get this out of the way, and we're going to bring Snoopy back in here. And I don't need the yellow anymore, so I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to wipe this out of here so I can use this tray again. And I'm going to go for his hat now. And I want his hat to be brown. So I've got, this is the color bark. Again, this is ink. This is ink. And again, I'm going to get another stir stick and put just a little bit of this. It doesn't take much. I probably won't even use all of that. All right, I'm going to wipe this off. Put the lid on this. We'll put the lid on the yellow. Y'all, I have to do this or I end up with my elbows in it or my hands, you name it. All right, so that is the brown. So we're going to take again, and we're going to come over here, and we're going to get a little bit of, I'm going to clean our brush. We're going to get a little bit of distilled water. Make sure our brush is clean, and we're going to just stir this up. We want it to be kind of thin, not too thin. You don't want it real runny. I may have put too much in here, but we'll see. He's going to have him a straw hat. So I want it to be a little bit darker than the canvas, but not too dark. All right, so this is what we have. So here we go, y'all. All right, so I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to, just like I did before, I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to kind of touch this in the areas. This has got enough water in it that it's going to flow right into the fibers of the bag. All right, and then I'm going to do it again. I probably shouldn't be dragging this across that, but here I am, right? All right, and this has got just enough water in it that all I have to do is just kind of touch the fabric, and it's going right down into the little squares of the pattern. But you're still able to see the black lines. I'm trying to stay off the black lines. And get a little bit more as it runs out. And just keep working along. And then after we get this second part painted, we'll heat set it again. And then it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere right now. There's no way we're getting this out of this fabric. And I'm just kind of taking my time. Hey, Kathy. Welcome, welcome. We are doing a Snoopy Scarecrow, the Chalk Couture stencil on a canvas bag. These canvas bags that Chalk Couture makes, I sell them in my shop. It's really a good quality bag. It's nice and stiff. It's a good quality. You know how some bags can be like really, really thin and flimsy. This is not. This is nice and stiff and keeps its shape. I'm kind of a stickler for quality. All right, so just a little bit at a time. Then we'll do his shirt last. Actually, I'm going to do that pole down there too, because we're going to do that in brown also. And it's pretty easy. I'm using a round brush, if anybody's wondering what kind of brush I'm using. And it's got a little bit of stiffness to it. Oh, this is so cute. It's got a little bit of stiffness to it so that I can control kind of where the brush goes. And all I'm doing is, I'm trying not to go on the black. You can go over the black if you want, but just so that it is predominantly in the open spaces is what I'm doing. Can y'all see what I'm doing? This is so adorable. And we're going to take this all the way out to the brim here. And I just used maybe a half of a teaspoon of the ink that I put in the little tray there. This is so cute. Who doesn't love Snoopy, right? So what about y'all? What kind of, who's your favorite character in the Peanuts gang? Just coming back up here, I see a couple spots that I missed. Now, you can also do this same technique like on like a board, like a piece of wood, only you would use paste instead of the ink. Okay, we're almost done with his hat. Okay, all right, there's his hat. Now what I want to do is I want to come down here and this little pole here that he's on, we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint that brown also. And because it's a little bit runny, I can kind of tap it right up to that black line. And remember that you want to heat set your pattern before you start painting, and then that way the colors won't run together. Okay, I think that's going to be good for that. Make sure we got all the areas. Okay, so there is that. I'm going to go ahead and rinse this off. Wipe it off. And I'm going to leave all of Snoopy's face, his arms, his hands, and I'm going to do his shirt. Let me come back and put this way. And I'm going to use the color Papaya. Take another stir stick. Just a little bit of this Papaya. Y'all see it doesn't take, and it's probably, I don't even know that it's a half of a teaspoon. I would say it's more like a quarter of a teaspoon, but let me show you. So this is how much I'm putting in there. Not much at all. And again, I'm going to add some water to this. And I have I've cleaned my brush. And I'm just going to stir all of this together so that it's all nice and smooth. There are no little clumps or anything in it. And this is going to be his shirt. Okay. Now you can mix these colors if there's, you want to do some kind of color mixing. You can use these, you can take the ink and the paste. You don't want to mix the ink and the paste together. But you can take the, need just a little bit more water. You can mix the different colors of ink together, and you can mix the different colors of paste together. All right, here we go, y'all. Coming on in here. So I've been learning to paint, and I want to try and maybe do some pumpkins freestyle. We'll see how that goes. All right, this is working. I'm just kind of dabbing this on here. Almost like a stippling effect, because trying to get it as close without going on the black as I can. Okay. We're going to come, I think I might need more for his jacket. There's a part of me that wants to go all the way over the black and see what happens, but probably better that I don't. All right, let me get a little bit more water on here. The water kind of helps to make it so that everything flows where you want it to go. Yeah, that's better. It's the heat that's going to set this up. And remember that I have a piece of cardboard in between the front and the back. I don't want this to bleed through to the back. So put your piece of cardboard in between, just as a precaution. So if you like to paint, this will be a fun thing to do. I find it relaxing. If you don't like to paint, you can just leave it with the black on the canvas or whatever surface you want to put it on. You could make a door hanger out of this with a welcome sign on it. That would be cute. Hey, Berta, how are you? Good to see you. I told Seth you were asking about him. It made him happy. How's your dad doing today, Berta? Robert's mom was diagnosed with shingles. So on top of everything else, she now has shingles. I guess they gave her a vaccine shot, the chickenpox vaccine shot, and that's supposed to make a difference. I have a friend of mine who, her mother was, had shingles. And let's see, that's his neck, so I don't want to do that. I think I just want to do this down here. I think his shirt is open. I can always go back and fill it in if it's not. But anyway, I guess they gave her a shot right away, chickenpox shot, I guess is what it is. And that's supposed to help from a lot of other things going in. She's 94, and it's been a tough go for her these last several months. And my husband's been there taking care of her. She's in a rehab place right now, and he's right there so that he can look oversee what's going on. Oh, y'all, this is so cute. So he's staying there, and then that way he's right there to help if he needs to. Okay, I may be able to get through all of this, y'all, with just this one little bit of ink that I used. It's sure looking that way. I'm going to see how this looks after it heat sets, And if I have to, I may go over this. Oh, that's his pocket. I think I should do his pocket a different color. What do y'all think? Should I do his pocket a different color? Yeah, I understand that. Thanks, Berta. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, Robert is, he's kind of burning the candle at both ends right now. I think we need to put we need a different color for his pocket. What color should we do his pocket? Should we bring in a green maybe? Yeah, I think we should do his pocket a different color. Or should we do it the same color? It's kind of fun. I think it's relaxing. It's not fast, but it's fun. Beige. Well, should I just leave it painted then? Because that's the color of the canvas. We could do that. We'll just leave it out. We just won't paint it. I think that'll look good. Yeah, we're going to have plenty here. Plenty paint or ink to do this whole shirt. And this was like maybe 1/4 teaspoon, no more than 1/2 of the ink. Okay. Oh, I got to get his sleeve over here. Oh, got to get that. There's a part of me that wants to take this black, the stencil and put it back over it, but I don't think I'm going to line it up exactly right. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of parts and pieces that have to be lined up, and I don't think it's going to line up that easily. Okay, let's see what we got. All right, it's looking good. All right, we're going to leave his pocket. We're going to leave it as it is. And mustard color for the pocket. Let me see if I have something. Like a gold. Let's see if I've got a, all right, hang on. Let me look. Let me see what I have. All right, what I could do, I don't have mustard. I got green. What I could do, ooh, no, I don't want to do that. What if I take the brown, where's my brown? Oh gosh, what did I do with it? Oh no. Oh, here it is. Ooh, I thought I put this on. What if I take the brown and some yellow and mix those together and see what happens? That's a little bit too much brown. All right, let me get a stir stick. All right, hang on. I didn't wipe this out. All right, I don't need any more orange. Let me clean my brush. Let's see if we can get a little bit of brown and mix it with some yellow and get a mustard color. All right, so let's take this yellow and a little bit of this brown. maybe a little bit more yellow. That'll work. How about that? Is that what you're thinking? Hey Shay, I know, I love this apron too. Okay, that'll work. That's a mustard yellow. Maybe a little bit more yellow. All right, let me get a little bit of water in here. This will work. This will kind of match that that ribbon too. All right, a little bit more water. Okay, that's the color. Okay, that's kind of what I thought you were thinking. This looks like mustard. You just need to get it thin enough so that it'll move into the fibers. A little bit, just a smidgen more water. All right, I think we got it. I could probably bring out the mustard jar and it would match perfectly. All right, let me get this. All right, here we go. We're gonna do the pocket in mustard yellow, y'all. This guy is just too cute. All right, I like that. Good call. See, I need y'all. Y'all are a vital part of this page. Not gonna get this color again because this is a custom color, so I need to make sure I get everything before I call it quits. Let me turn my heat press back on. All right, so I use bark, which is brown, papaya, which is kind of like a brown orange, and then I took and mixed a little bit of the bark and a little bit of the bumblebee yellow, which is what Woodstock is. And I got the mustard brown. That looks cute. All right, good job. All right, let me rinse my brush out. And we're gonna dry this. Let me get these things out of the way so I don't stick my elbow in them. All right, this is what we got, y'all. Check him out. Is he not too cute? They, all right, so let's dry him, and then we're going to heat set him. And then I think we're going to put some ribbon on there. Put this down in here so it doesn't burn something. All right, I think we're good with that. And remember that when you paint, you want to put a piece of cardboard in between. All right, here we go, y'all. Let me get this mat down. And we are going to take a piece of parchment paper. Put it over top of Snoopy. Here we go. All right, 30 seconds at 305 degrees. Let's see if I've got this all the way covered. Looks looks like it is. Okay, this is on 305 degrees. I know, Shay, I love it too. I love Snoopy. Hey, Deb, how are you? Come on in. All right, and I'm gonna just kind of move this around a little bit more. All right, I wanna see what happened with that black paint. I know it's loud, I'm sorry. All right, let me see how I wanna do this. I'm wondering, I gotta do this, y'all. I really think I need to do this. All right, I'm gonna go back over this because some parts, I'm gonna go all the way over. I'm gonna make an executive decision here. And I'm gonna do the pocket first. But I'm gonna go over the black and let that, because I've got some of it on there and some of it not, and I think it needs to be consistent. That looks better. Okay. All right. Let me see if I'm not sure if I want to, I don't know. I may, all right. I think I'm changing my mind again. I'm thinking I don't like that. I want to leave it so that it's not covered over there. All right, so let me dry it again. I'm going to heat set it. Do I dare try and line the stencil up and run over it with black again? I think I should try it. All right, here we go. Let's get our parchment paper on here. We're going to go over this part that I just painted for 30 seconds. All right, I'm going to try lining this up and see if I can run some black over the areas like where the hat is so that it's a little bit more vibrant. It's not as vibrant as I would like for it to be. 10 seconds. And remember that I'm heat setting this in between so that the colors don't run together. All right, so let me put this down here, come back to that. Put this out of the way, we'll come back to that. All right, let me see if I can line up this stencil because this is bugging me. This is really bugging me. All right, let me see if I can. Oh, I might be able to do it, y'all. That looks pretty good. If I can't get it exactly, I won't go back over this, but I sure want to try. And it's not. Yeah, it's not lining up exactly. What is that gonna do? It's almost like I stretched it when I pulled it off of the, it's not, oh, hold on. Nope. Usually I can line it back up, but it's got some parts that are and some parts that aren't lined up. There's his face. I think I stretched it. What I could do is see if I could get his shirt lined up and then get his face lined up. But it's just not, it's not cooperating. All right, I'm not going to be able to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and I don't want to take a chance of messing it up. I would have liked to, I think maybe when I pulled it up that I may have stretched the stencil a little bit. All right, let me line this up. Put this back on here. Here he is. Okay, y'all. This is what we got. Now, do we want to... Ava, hey, Ava, how are you? I'm sending a big hug back at you. Oh, good. Good. So she made a friend. I'm glad to hear that. All right. So I kind of wished I wouldn't have gone over the pocket, but look at this. Do we want to put a piece of this ribbon up top? I think we do. I think we do, y'all. I think that'll be a nice addition. So we've got this copper here. Now, do we want to put it there or down here? All right, let me turn it around. What do y'all think about this ribbon, putting it up at the top? Yes or no? What do you think? Yes or no? I think it could go either way. Kind of like it. Yes, I like it too. All right, let me get my glue gun plugged in. Yeah, I think it gives it a little bit more of a just spruces it up a little bit, as my dad would say, if he were still alive. All right, I'm gonna get this out of the way. Oh, I tried the, all right, y'all hold on, because I know not everybody wants to hear this. I tried the sardines, right? And they weren't that bad. They weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. But I added them to tuna fish, and it made it a little fishy, but it's doable. So I had the other day, I guess it was yesterday, I had some tuna fish and sardines mixed. And I added avocado mayonnaise, because I'm trying to get, stay away from seed oils. Avocado mayonnaise, fermented Bubby's pickles, which is a good for your gut. Onions, some lemon. What else did I have in it? Salt and pepper. And it was pretty good, y'all. Oh, and then I threw some pecans in there just because I like pecans. I like to get the nuts in. All right, I think I like this up at the top. What do y'all think? I'm thinking, all right, I want to try something. Where are my scissors? Here we are. I want to try something. Let's take, you can pull this wire out, right? Somebody taught me that. And I thought, oh, but of course. So I'm thinking I want to try taking this wire out. I can always cut another piece if I need to. I want to see if this is going to lay better without the wire. So I'm just going to wind this up and throw it away. And just, all right, I think it's going to lay a lot better. This is going to lay better without the wire. I could put that on there. This has got the copper in it. This looks really pretty. All right, so as soon as this heats up, we will, we're going to get some ribbon on here. Let's see, is there a right side and a wrong side? Looks like they're both the same. I think this is the right side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just fold this back just a smidgen so that we don't have a raw edge on that. Oh, I like that, y'all. I think that's cute. I almost feel like I want to make like a little bow or something up here at the top. But I don't know how, for practicality purposes, if that really makes sense to have a bow for a bag that you're going to be carrying. Y'all talk to me and tell me what you think. Bow or no bow? Oh, this is still not. I like that. That just really just brightens it up, doesn't it? All right, so I'm going to need to, I probably should go from right to left, from left to right. I can go ahead and put that in here, and then I can bring this down this way. Oh, I like that. This has got copper in it too. I really like the copper in this. All right, do I want to do this down twice? Maybe I do. I want to turn it down twice. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get some glue on this. Nope, not yet. I did plug it in, I think. Yeah, it's plugged in. All right, I'm going to turn this down twice. So Ava, what new friends did you make at school this week? Let's see if we can, oh, there we go. It's getting there. What are their names? I prayed that God would give you a friend that that you could grow old with. The beginning of a new friendship. All right, I'm just putting a little bit of glue. I'm turning this down twice, y'all, so that it doesn't have any raw edges on it. Okay, and then we're going to take this and we're going to put a little bit of glue right here. Stick this on here, and then we are going to glue this down all the way down. All right, so I'm going to take and no turning back now, because we know that the glue gun doesn't, the hot glue doesn't come out of fabric, that's for sure. And then I'm going to just do a little zigzag in between. Here we go. No turning back now. Oh, I like this. Make sure it's long enough. I'll be in trouble if it's not. Okay, we're getting there. What's it look like on y'all's end? This is what we got. I had wanted to add some plaid to this, and so this this ribbon is the perfect touch because it's the plaid that I kind of had envisioned going with the scarecrow. These are really nice canvases. If y'all want the link to the canvas, just let me know. But if you get anything from Chalk Couture, make sure you sign up as the Perks program so that you can save 30%. Don't pay full retail. Do not pay full retail. All right, let me see how much I need to turn this down. All right, let me do this section right here. I'll give you a link to sign up if y'all are going to get any of these canvas bags. I don't want you to pay full retail. Even though I make commission off of it, I still don't want y'all to pay full retail. I'm a numbers person. Remember, I'm a numbers person first. All right, let's see if I can do this and that. All right, I'm going to get just a little bit more off of this. And we're going to fold that down. don't want it to be short. I think that'll work. All right. Let's turn this down. All right, and then we're going to turn this back to how far? Right there, okay? On that line right there. So let me here we go. I think it's this line. Oh, I forgot. I think it's that one. Yep. All right, and then we're going to carry this on to the end. And we're going to get this edge right here. Sewing this on would be nice too, but I don't have my sewing machine set up so that I can do it on camera. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is so cute. Look at that. Isn't he adorable? Hey Rita, welcome to my page. Welcome to the night. We've got us a Snoopy Scarecrow. All right, so question that I have. Let me think. Do we want to? Oh. That may not be done. I may have thought. What if we mix these two? What do y'all think? I like busy. What do you think? Should we put this underneath that? Yes or no? Or leave it as it is? I kind of like both of them together. What do y'all think? One ribbon or two ribbons? One ribbon or two ribbons? Should I add the black to it or no? Let me look at this. I kind of like it. You like both? Okay, I like both too. So I'm going to put the black underneath that. I like that. I do. I agree with y'all. All right, let me glue this down a little bit better. Get that flat. All right, we'll get that flat. Make sure this one's flat. That one's flat. All right, so we're gonna go with the black underneath it. I like that. All right, so again, I'm going to take, let's see, I think this side looks brighter, so this is going to be the back side. And we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to turn this down. I think I can get away with just doing it one time. All right, y'all. Let me get my scissors over here. And again, I'm going to go, well, let me turn it around, because I can reach it better this way. And I'm going to go from, all right, here we go. Get this out of the way. I like that black with it. That kind of brings the black out. All right, here we go. Get this on here and butt it right up underneath there. Oh, you know what? Oh, I bet I didn't bring it with me. Okay, we're going to just come on down the line here. Y'all are my people. If my older son was here, he would tell me it's too busy. He doesn't like busy. I like busy. I like this. I like it, I like it, I like it. All right, I need to put a little bit of glue underneath here and bring that down. Okay, all right, I think I need to put it right on the ribbon. I think that's the better way to do this. I may have to find some Totally Dazzled when I go offline and see if we can put some kind of bling on here too. That'd be cute. All right, here we go. Want to make sure that I butt it right up against that other ribbon. All right. And then we're going to take, I think putting it on the ribbon is the better way to do this. If y'all decide to do something like this. Oh my gosh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay, now let's clip this. You can always cut more off, but I can't put more on there. So we're going to see how much we need. I feel like I need some kind of rosette or something on here. All right, I'm going to cut this off just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. Can y'all see what I'm doing? I'm terrible about that. All right, let's fold this back. Let me fold it back once and then I'll fold it back a second time. And then we're going to fold it back just a little bit more. I think that'll work. All right, and then we're going to take and put the glue right on the ribbon, bring it around, butt it right up against, oh my gosh, yes, yes, yes. All right, let me try something. Oh, almost out of this. You know what? This is to the end of this thing. Don't need that anymore. I'm kind of thinking maybe we can just tie this on here. I'm thinking more of a knot than I am a bow. All right, let me look at this and see what it's going to do. If it's going to lay, it's not really going to lay. I could. All right, what I could do. What I could do. See, this doesn't want to lay flat. Let me show y'all. The ribbon is not laying well, so the only other thing I can think of is I feel like if I did, all right, I got an idea. I got an idea, y'all. All right, let me cut this. I can put like two little bows right here, one here and one there. I can put it right up here at the, move this so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Just take like two of these little guys and put one right there and one right there. What do you think? Can you see that? Let's try it. Let's just see what happens. All right, let me cut these two. And let me pull this wire out of here again. It's going to be too stiff with that wire. I'll show you what I'm thinking. Actually, I could have used that wire to see what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we could put, and then I could put one here and maybe shorten this. All right, where is that wire? I think I'm going to use that wire to wrap this around here. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Use what we have, right? I need a, like a little button or some, oh, I got some black buttons. All right, so I'm thinking, all right, hold on a minute, because I just bought some black buttons. Let me stand up and grab these. They happen to be on the front of my desk. Ha. I don't know if I have two alike or not, but let's see what we got here. There's one. That one's similar. Got me a great big old button. Oh, hold on. I could be getting excited. All right, let me see. Let's cut this down. Cut this down, and this one down. Oh, I wished I had two of these. Look at this button, y'all. Maybe, all right, I'm just like going all over the place now. All right, so what do you think about these little bows here? Let me get these out of the way. What do you think if we put like a little bow here with maybe a button in the middle? I think that would be cute. Let's do that. What do y'all think? The bows, should we put these little bows on here? I think I should. I think I should. I think I should. Or do we want to put it down here? I think up here. I think we should put it up here. Hold on. Let me look at it and see what we got here. Maybe, I think we should put it on here, right there. And I need to trim this. All right, I think I'm gonna put, yeah, that's better. That, all right, let me see if I can find 2 buttons. You like the button in the bow? I do too. All right, these kind of look like the same or similar buttons. I'm trying to find 2 that kind of look alike. Kind of close. That's a gray button. That one's got 4 holes. This one, oh, this one looks, these 2 look the same. All right, I'm going to use those 2. I was at a, I don't know, it's like a recycle craft place that a friend of mine's son told me about. We went there on an excursion one day. And I saw all these buttons, and I've been wanting to do stuff with buttons. All right, let me put these back. I really like this big button, y'all. This is awesome, but it has to be where there's only one of them. All right, so I'm going to put just a dab of glue underneath here so that these ribbons don't shift. I'll put one, a dab of glue on this side. This kind of brings the 2 together, and then we'll put a button in the middle here. All right, this is what we have. And then I took the wire out of this. All right, same thing. So we're going to make another one for the other side. I'll make it a little bit long so I can cut it back. And we're going to pull this wire out, but we're going to save it this time so that we can kind of put the 2 together. Shay, I really like what you're doing with the resin. You're doing a great job with it. All right, then we're going to put this one on top of here. All right, I think I'm going to do this one different. I'm going to just put a dab of glue in the middle here. And I'm going to cut that. We're going to kind of squeeze this together. And I think I'm going to do it with glue, y'all. Kind of squeeze it together and put a dab of glue in the middle. Kind of hold it in place. All right, I think I'm going to have to still wrap this around here. I got a better wrap on this one than I did on the other one. Okay, just going to wrap it all the way around. All right, I want them to be the same size. So I'm going to cut this one back about right here. Cut this one back so it's a little bit longer. Ah, perfect. And then this one doesn't need to be cut much. So when you're working with the mica powder, Shay, how do you keep it from floating to the top, or does it just stay down on its own with the resin? All right, let's see what we got here. All right, those look pretty close to the same size. All right, we are working this right. All right, now we're going to take and we're going to put our button on. I'm going to make it so that the holes are lined up right. Now, it'd be really cute if I had like an orange button and I could do an orange button. All right, this is trash. All right, let's see what we got, y'all. All right, so now what we're going to do, all right, let me see what this looks like. One there and one there. All right, that's perfect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to line this up. Button makes it nice so that I don't burn myself. Oh my gosh, y'all, this is it. I'm going to turn it around and show it to you in just a minute. How cute and adorable is this? All right, let me get my scissors out of the way. All right, let me just make sure this is dry before I pick it up. All right, this is what we got. Look at it. Can you see it? And we've got the little bows up top there. It matches his shirt, and it also the mustard yellow that that you recommended. Oops, looks like. Hang on. I thought you would have to put resin first, but every video I saw, no one did. Huh, okay. You're still buffering? Oh, wait a minute, here we go. Oh gosh, I've been missing all these comments, y'all. I'll share your live out later. Facebook has not been able to, I think they're trying to put themselves out of business, if you want to know the truth. All right, let me see. Once I get back on track. Oh, don't worry. No hurry, Berta. You got other things that are more important right now. 2 ribbons. Oh gosh, I got all kinds of comments I'm missing here. I bet you are having the best time with resin. It's fun to play with, isn't it? I like it too. I haven't done as much as you're doing, but I'm watching what you're doing. I'm glad that you have your reels or your demos so that I can comment on them now. Because there for a while I couldn't make any comments. But now that you've got it so that I can comment, then I can. All right. When you brush it in the mold lightly and then pour the resin on top, it just dries in. Oh, okay. I thought you would have to put resin first, but no. You can watch. Mixed Media Girl. Okay. All right, I'll check her out. I've done other resin things, but I haven't done resin and, what do you call it? Mica powder yet. And, but anyway, all right, y'all, this is what we got. Didn't this turn out so cute? Almost probably could have put like a little teeny tiny bow tie on the on Snoopy. That would have been cute too. I may consider that. All right, y'all, this is what we have. Let me put this out of the way so you can see the final project. This is Scarecrow Snoopy. I hope that this inspires you to try something new. This is a lot of fun. These canvas bags are really nice. I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs. I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me and seeing it to the end. I know, I think it did too, Shay. Thank you. I like the colors. I think the mustard pocket was a good choice. So I may be able to just fix the pocket. I might go over the pocket. I don't know. I may just leave it alone so that I'll figure it out when I go offline. I'll see if I can line the pocket up and maybe get that to be a little bit. I'm glad I didn't go over the whole thing. So this has been fun. All right. The Chalk Couture's got a whole bunch of peanut stuff. If any of y'all are interested, just let me know and I'll send you a link. All right. Y'all have a great night. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow. No, I probably won't. If I'm on, I'll be on tomorrow afternoon. I won't be on tomorrow night because I have a friend who's going to be preaching, and it starts at 7:30, so I won't be able to come on tomorrow night. But I might be able to come on during the daytime in the afternoon around 2 or 3. So we'll see how that goes. If I can come on, I will. So y'all be looking for me. Facebook's not letting me tag followers. It's only letting me follow top fans. So I don't know what's up with that. But I swear they're trying to put themselves out of business. So it makes no sense, their business, the way they do business. Frustrating everybody on the platform. All right. I love y'all. Jesus loves you more. And maybe I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.